The key to creating a product that will inevitably be successful is to think of something that absolutely no one needs or even wants, and then make that. Using this formula, I discovered an untapped opportunity full of potential: bookmarks. So stand up and make yourself uncomfortable as you watch me attempt to make wooden bookmarks. Enjoy. I cut out some paper templates and used those as a reference to decide how thick of a block of wood to glue up. I then adjusted the wood as necessary using the thickness planer. Now, while the thickness planer is undoubtedly an excellent tool, sometimes bad things can happen. In this case, I was trying to use it in more of an egotistical manner, and that resulted in a bit of the wood splitting off from the rest of it. I just used some glue and a shop vac to fix the problem. Because my shop vac runs off of electricity, it can be rather powerful, so I just need to watch out for the gale force winds from time to time. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it is certainly something to consider before buying a new shop vac. If you have watched my previous videos, you know that I am looking for a better way to apply the sweet baby rays. I've tried a wrench, a screwdriver, a ping pong ball, all sorts. And you may wonder why I don't just use a brush or a roller. And that is for the same reason that the cheese won't sing the opera. There must be better options out there, we just need to find them. Anyway, this time I decided to use a rake. The rake actually worked quite well. Some people seem confused by my choice to use strange objects as glue spreaders. And if you're one of those people, you should know that the choice was never yours to make. And even before I made this video, you knew that deep within your soul. While the glue was drying on the block, I glued the paper templates down to a thin piece of plywood that I found in my shop and cut them out on the scroll saw. I did this for one or more reasons. The first reason was so that I could just trace it out and not have to print a new template out every single time I wanted to make a new bookmark. Keep in mind that most of this footage is sped up, and using a scroll saw with such speed would likely result in you or the machine getting a boo-boo. Woo! That could have been fun. That was a strange voice. The most time-consuming part of making these videos is actually recording the voiceover. Usually the recording for one video requires focused work for fully 2 hours or 3. But that is not the most difficult part. The most difficult part is coming up with somewhat interesting things to document me making. For example, before the bookmarks, I made an entire video on making some live edge coasters, but I ended up scrapping the whole thing because it turned out to be a 5-minute flubber of me just cutting up a slab. So that being said, I am a bit short of ideas, so if you have any ideas, even if it's worse than what happens behind the dumpster behind Wendy's, please share it with me, and I will definitely consider it. There seem to be quite a few humans who seem to be rather concerned about my fingers, especially when they see how I use the table saw. And there are 6 things I want to say to you folk. First, thank you for the concern. Second, I would imagine there would be formidable rage if you saw how my 2 older brothers use power tools. And third, a quote from Munia Khan: "Counting fingers does not make us mathematicians." After cutting the block into thin strips, I mounted my wheelbarrow upside down in a vise to sand the strips. One silly thing about me is that I've made numerous excellent writing sticks, but still struggle to find one for me to utilize. In this instance, I just used a pen ink refill cartridge to trace out the bookmarks. After tracing the pattern out on the long strips, it was time to cut them out on the scroll saw. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "All of life is an experiment. The more experiments you make, the better." And Theodore Levitt said, "Creativity is thinking up new things. Innovation is doing those new things." So with that in mind, I tried out some new scroll saw techniques. Enjoy. Maybe I should start a new segment in every video where I try out a new push stick for the table saw. That would probably just bring about more comments about my safety. I was kind of a beached whale for a little bit, trying to think of a way to quickly and consistently drill accurate holes in the bookmarks. I finally came up with a little jig made of a couple pieces of scraps. I clamped it to the drill press, and it allowed me to slide in a bookmark, drill a hole, and remove it in a matter of seconds. After all, speed is a weapon of war, and this jig can be used in the future when I need to make more bookmarks. Another thing that often comes up in my videos is a quote from Sun Tzu. That man had a way with words. He could probably kill you with a pen if he wanted to. He stated, "It is the unemotional, reserved, calm, detached warrior who wins, not the hothead seeking vengeance and not the ambitious seeker of fortune." An excellent motivation to strive to maintain one's composure at all times. For a finish, I decided to use some clear gloss spray polyurethane. I usually struggle to apply spray finishes, mainly because I apply way too much and it ends up with puddles and rivers. I then attached the bookmark tassels to each one of the bookmarks. I think I ordered 200 of these on Amazon for like $8.99 or something. And since I was just talking about puddles and rivers in my finishing, I may as well talk about the puddles and rivers in other aspects of my life as well. This is an excellent time for me to encourage and enforce you to follow me on Instagram. I was at an outdoor event this weekend, and it started to rain like crazy and caused absolute chaos for my fellow vendors. It was quite a silly time, and I documented it on my Instagram. Thanks for watching my antics for almost 10 minutes. Feel free to ask me a question about boats down in the comments, and I will very likely respond to such questions. You may also hit the thumbs down or subscribe-a-roo if that's what pleases you. Enjoy this bizarre outtake, and until next time, go do a happy dance in Hungary. Also, shout out to Kaden if you're watching this. Kaden, I don't know if you're watching this, but if you are, thumbs up for that. See you later. I'm gonna put my hand in a blender. Oh, I'm still videotaping. Okay. Whoops. Oh, maybe I should start doing outtakes like the Fisher Shop dude. I will. I'm going to pirate that idea. I am a pirate. I can do whatever I want. Oh yeah, get ready for some silly things.